Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today I'm just going to give you a very brief tour of the garden. It's April now, it's a glorious day and everything is just popping. So we'll start with this section. Pretty much everything you can see here I've grown from seed. So look at these are Honesty. I thought the packet was all white seed, but they're white and pink and there's lots more dotted around here. But they are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they're almost as tall as me. We've got some I've got some echinops down here. The forget-me-nots are lovely. Now, story. There are so many forget-me-nots in the garden. They're absolutely everywhere this year, and there weren't very many last year. And I kind of feel that my sister Kim really liked the forget-me-nots, and I kind of just feel that she's trying to say, hey, here I am, don't forget me. They're pretty gorgeous, aren't they? Now, I will want to show you this. I don't know if you can see it from there. I'll zoom in a minute. This is rather lovely. It's a member of the perennial dead nettle family. I don't know what variety this is, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I've split it and moved it around the garden. I've given some to my neighbour, and it's so beautiful. I'm hoping I might be able to propagate some more of it. Maybe even do some from seed. I don't know. I've also in here, I've got some yarrow. I grew this from seed. In fact, so I've got lots of yarrow that I grew from seed, all different colours, mostly pinks. I grew this from seed. I forget what it's called. I'll put a name of what it is, but it has lovely pink flowers. Here is the perennial dead nettle. And I don't know if you can see in there, just look how gorgeous they are. And it's really big. If you look at my hand, absolutely huge. Just need to be careful in case there's any bees. So this next section is an area where, if you remember, we had some borders last year and I dug it all up and we've put grass seed down. Those covers were on there, but the wind has just blown them all off. The grass seed has been quite patchy. We do appear to be growing quite a few weeds as well, but we'll have to see how it goes. So I want to talk about my patch of ground elder that I weeded yesterday. There was a rose in here and I had to get that out, and then I set about tackling all the ground elder. It was really tricky. You can see I've still got some left in there to deal with, but what I did in the end is I used a pickaxe, and I have to say it was quite a good way of getting right down in there and really loosening up the soil to get rid of it. So let's watch this space to see if it comes back. So I'm standing by my compost bays, and I've got really serious into composting this year. And I've always just chucked it all in and just forgotten about it, and it never really does that brilliantly. So this year, I've really thought I'm going to really up my game, because we need loads of it. And it just seems such an easy thing to do, using it all up. So what I'm doing is I'm properly layering my compost. I'm chopping it up small as well, and I will be turning it, and we're nearly at the top. We cut the grass yesterday, and I will definitely be getting really into composting. So watch this space. Not looking forward to turning it, I have to say, but I just have to think of that end goal. So this section here, so this was that area I worked on recently, and I've got some potatoes growing in pots. I'll just move you back. So just, can you see me here? Yes, you can. So I've got some potatoes in pots here. I've got them now. I've got them dotted in various parts around the garden. I've got all sorts of varieties. The ones I've got in the pots here are Charlotte, but I've got so many different varieties this year. I'll let you know as they go on what they are. But what I've done is I've just put them in the bottom of the pots, and then I've put a little bit of compost, and I've also topped up with grass clippings. I always do this. I layer with grass clippings and compost, and we'll see what happens. I'm a bit nervous about them this year because the slugs and snails I'll add, have been absolutely unlike anything I've ever known. My onions, well, I'll show you those in a minute. My onions have been ravaged by them, and I've just not known anything like it. It's a shame. The chickens don't like slugs, so when they're out free ranging in the garden, they don't touch the slugs. They touch the snails, but slugs, no, they're not interested. We do have a little moorhen that pops along from time to time. It sort of nests in the pond each year, but I don't think it can get through that many slugs. Let me know in the comments down below, are you suffering with slugs this year? And I'd like to know what your remedies are if you are, because I have never, ever, in all my years of gardening, experienced slug damage like this. So, yeah, a bit depressing, really. However, there's always something every year to test us. So, right, let's move on. Just look at the blueberries. Aren't they gorgeous? The flowers are stunning. And I've got 3 varieties here. I've got a couple more in the garden elsewhere. But this one is called Golden Traub. I don't know how you say that. But they're different varieties to stagger the harvest. And we don't get many. We just get a few just to sort of have with breakfast in the mornings. But you never know, maybe in the future we'll be able to build up the stock and get more. So this area just here is where all of the rhubarb was. And I can't hear myself think because there's a plane going over. Anyway, I've got 2 plants left. I moved it the other day when it was quite a windy day, and it wasn't the best day to move it, I realise. And it's also not the best time of year to move it when it's fully in leaf like this. But I really wanted to put it in another area, and I wanted to put some potatoes in here. So the variety I've got in here, I'll have to just check my labels. Red Duke of York. And what's this one? Alouette. So I've got Alouette and Red Duke of York. And I think you'll quite like my plant labels. These are old curtain tracks. Perfect. They last and last and last. And they're great for things like potatoes where you need a really big plant label. So I'm going to show you where I moved the rhubarb to. Let's walk round. So you can just see here, because I created another bed just here, and I needed to kind of finish it off a bit. And this corner here, the water runs all the way down here and collects in this corner. So I thought gradually we're going to raise it, but I thought it would be ideal for the rhubarb because they're quite hungry feeders, and it's kind of, yeah, well, I think it will be ideal. We'll soon see how that works, but it has perked up. All I did here, again, I just put the cardboard and I've put the compost on top. I did no digging in that section, and it's looking pretty good. The plan is to sort of continue it all the way around, but I'm not going to move the other lot until we've had a bit of rain, and I'll do it when it's raining. I think that would be best. So I've got more potatoes in here, 2 rows here. These are called Setanta. Got a rather lovely Cox tree. Cox's Orange Pippin. There's my label there. I keep finding bits of slate around the garden, so I'm using them as labels, but I need to find a better pen than that. It's our bonfire area. I've bought a lot of bare root apple trees this year, and I wanted to get sort of local varieties to this region. And so the varieties I've got, this one is called St Magdalene. That's an area in Norwich, I think. And this one's doing really, really well. It came with quite a few branches, so that's a bit further on than some of the others. I'll show you. So I've got another one here. As you can see, this one isn't as established yet. It's only got two sort of branches coming out the top. This one's called Bands. I can't remember where that's from locally. I'll have to look that one up. I've got another one there. That one is called Harling Hero, I think. And what I've done is I've actually planted them in the middle of these beds. I think that'd be rather lovely. Just in front of me here, I've got some onions. These are spring sown onions. And just here in front of me, I've got some more potatoes in these beds here. So I've spread them about a bit. I've spread them about a bit because we got blight last year, and I haven't got a polytunnel this year, and I need to sort of make sure that if we get blight this year that I'm sort of spread them all about a bit, so hopefully we can sort of slow it down if we do get blight. Anyway, these varieties are, this one's Cara, love Cara, and Arran Victory. And then, so in here, I've got some onions now. Oh, sorry, no, I lied. I've got shallots. And the slugs have been at these. We have been coming out every evening and picking them off. And me and my daughter are picking off sort of 30 or 40 slugs every evening. And even in the mornings, first thing, I'm spotting a few. I think it's too warm now. But these are not too bad compared to the onions. They were on the elephant garlic, which I've got in the back there. We'll just have to see how they turn out. So this is the bed at the back. So this is the bed that the slugs have really done some damage, and I don't know if you can see. Just look at these leaves. They've been, okay, really done some damage. Got a rogue potato that's popped up in there, but I'm going to leave it. I've sowed some radishes just down here. They came up really quick. Let's hope the slugs don't get them. In here, I've put some asparagus. That's its first year. I'm amazed at this, how much it grows every day. And I've got some various lettuces in here. This bed isn't ready yet. You can see we've got various bits of burdock, and there's some horseradish. Can't remember where it is. So I've got fruit here. I've got black currants and gooseberries, and these are some bits that snapped off, so I just put them in the ground, and 2 of them have taken. Chickens. Hello, chickens. Some raspberries here. So this next section is an area of ash trees where we like to sit in an evening and sort of toast marshmallows and just chat. And I've planted some roses up these. One I brought from the other house, and one is one of the ones I bought the other day called Open Arms. So into the greenhouse now. It's a bit grubby, I do need to clean it, but the plants are doing okay in here. I've got celery, radishes, sweet peas, ammi, cosmos, what else have I got in there? Zinnias, some seedlings that I need to prick out. I've got some, they're tomatoes. I've got some acerinia and peppers and chilies. The slugs have had a little bit of a go at things in here, but not too bad. Now, interestingly here, I've got some broad beans and some leeks and things in here. And interestingly, so the one on the left is the one I got from the seed swap, and the one on the right is a saved packet of seed. And just look at the difference in germination. It really does show that it's worthwhile using fresh seed every year for germination rates. So that's been a real eye-opener to me. So this is a bit of fencing that we had to do. It was an emergency fencing. We've put some pallet fences up because the horses just kept eating all my plants. This is Grissolinia, and that little plant there is the damage they have done. I've bought a few more to replace ones that we've completely lost. And we were going to put a proper fence in, but we had these pallets lying around and thought, let's just use these. Now, this plant here is actually where it should be right now. They should be at least this high. So yeah, the horses have done quite a lot of damage. So yeah.
So, quick update on the area of bricks edging that I did the other day. I've had to stop it for the time being because, as you can see, I've had to clear all these rocks and flints. It's been, oh my goodness, it's been so hard. I feel this is going to be an all summer job, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think we're just going to be doing this slowly but surely. Another job we've been doing is working on this area. There was an old water butt that was leaking and, so we've just taken it out and we're going to reuse these bricks and turn that back into a gravelly bit. Here is my rather lovely box hedging. It's looking pretty good at the moment. I'm really hoping that it's going to be okay. We'll have to see about that. Here's a bay tree that was left by the previous owner. It was either side of the front door and it was just far too big. It was starting to root in the ground and I didn't want it that near the house. So we've just sort of topiarised it a bit. Some more box, and this is a border at the front of the house, which I'm just kind of plonking in whatever I've got at the moment and just trying to make it look pretty. Hellebores, oh, I love a hellebore. They are gorgeous. I have lost a few this year. I don't know why. I thought because of the wet, but I don't know really. But yeah, I absolutely love
So this
a
is a really
hellebore.
lovely view up round the side to the back of the house, and you can just see the honesty and the forget-me-nots, and just beyond is the drainage ditch. And I always think it looks like a footpath leading to somewhere, and I really like that look. This is an edible cherry. It is called Sunburst. Rather beautiful. So in here I've got some strawberries and some chives and garlic chives and a salvia that looks like it may just have come through the winter. And then just in front I've got a fair few plants to propagate. This one here looks really sorry for itself. I got them from a hedging company, as bare root hedging, and they really weren't very happy. Activity going on with some birds at the moment and cats. I can hear lots of screeching and wailing. I can't work out what's happening. No idea. We have buzzards and kites and jackdaws and rooks and crows. Certainly something's happening. So thank you for joining me here for the update of the garden. Please let me know what you're up to in the garden. Let me know what seeds you're growing and what plants you've got going on. Yeah, just pop it all down in the comments below. And I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel to grow. And until next time, bye.